it's disconnected. Anyways, today we are solving quadratic equations with square roots. This is kind of like what we were doing on Monday, except now there's an x in here. Okay, so like solving a normal equation, I want to get the x by itself. So on number 1, I'm going to add 27 to both sides. Diana? Okay, questions so far on my first step? Diana, Melanie. Okay, what would I want to do next? So I get x squared equals 9. What is the opposite of squaring something? No. What? Yes, but how did you figure that out? No. Square root? Okay, so when I draw the square root symbol, like I just did, it's going to be plus and minus 3. Because remember, negative 3 times negative 3 is also positive. It's both, because negative 3 times negative 3 is 9, and positive 3 times positive 3 is also 9. There's 2 answers. Because remember... Yes. Remember yesterday when we were graphing, most of the times there was 2 spots across the x-axis? That's why we get 2 answers here. Okay. On number 1, are there any questions? Okay. Also, I want to point out, I forgot to teach you some vocab words the other day. When I can take the square root of a number, it's called rational. So if it's a perfect square, and I take the square root and it turns into 3, it's rational. Number 2 is going to turn out to be irrational. So I start off by adding 10 to both sides. Okay, then what do I want to do? Square root it. Is 20 a perfect square? No. So this one is irrational, because I'm going to be left with a radical. What are my factors of 20? 5 and 4. What are my factors of 4? Okay. So I'm going to have x equals plus or minus, because I always get, when I take the square root, I always get a plus and minus. Then what do I want to write? What do I want to write? Okay. So why am I picking 2? Because I have a pair. And then, am I done? Do I just ignore the 5? No, I'm going to put it inside the radical because it's all alone and it doesn't want to go outside. Louise, if you cannot be quiet, I will call security. Questions on number 2? Okay, what do I want to do for number 3? Subtract 11 on both sides. Questions so far? And then what do I want to do? Divide by negative 5. So I get x squared equals negative 1. Then what? Okay. Can I take the square root of negative 1? No. So what do I do here? No. No. If I can't do it, what do I write? No. I write no solution. If I can't solve it, I just write no solution. So this happens whenever I try to take the square root of a negative number. It doesn't work. So like on this one, if I went and actually tried to graph it on a graph, it would not cross the x-axis. It would probably look something, like this. So it doesn't cross the x-axis. It can cross the y-axis, it just won't cross the x. Number 4. What do I do first? I could, it's not distribute, I could FOIL or box method my binomial, but that's actually more work than I need to do. Since the exponent is the big thing that's important here, I'm going to square root both sides right away. So then I get x minus 1 equals plus or minus, can I take the square root of 25? What is it? 5. From here, I'm going to split it into 2 equations. So, I'm going to have x minus 1 equals positive 5, and then I'm going to have x minus 1 equals negative 5. Does everyone understand where my 2 equations came from? Okay, so to solve my first equation, what do I want to do? Add 1, and I get x equals, on the second one I want to, and this time I get negative 4. Questions on number 4? Okay. So number 5 is a word problem. It says the touch tank has a height of 3 feet, its length is 3 times its width, and the volume of the tank is 270 feet. It wants me to find the length and width of the tank. But before I do that, I want to draw a picture. I really am drawing a fish tank. Are you judging me? Why are you guys judging me? It's like the one time a year I get to draw a really cool picture. I look forward to this day. I like drawing the fish tank on this problem. Do you have a problem with me drawing a cute fish tank? With a cute fishy in it? Okay, because I'm not an artist. I can only draw fish. I barely can draw seaweed. Okay, so now I actually need to focus on the problem. It says it's 3 feet tall, and its length is 3 times its width. So I'm going to do 3W for my length, and W for my width. Okay. So, do you guys remember how to find the volume of a tank? I mean, volume of the rectangular prism.
I don't know.
No, that's surface area. I timed all 3 of these numbers together. So I do, the formula is length times width times height equals my volume. Okay, so what was my length? 3W. What was my width? W. What was my height? 3. Oh, I know the volume. What is the volume? It tells me in the problem. No, it tells me in the problem. 270. Okay. Then, no. Then what do I do on my left side? Multiply. So 3w times w is times 3. 9w squared. So still equals 270. Okay, then what? $270 divided by 9 is 30. Okay, then what? Okay. So what are my factors of 30? Okay. Factors of 15? 5 and 3. Can I do anything with that? No. When I write my answer, should I write plus and minus? Why not? If I'm measuring a fish tank, can I have a negative width? No. So that's why it's only 30, because real world problems, you can't measure things negatively. Yeah. So just the square root of 30 is my answer. Huh? Oh, it also wanted the length. Length is easy. So my length was 3w. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my answer for w and plug it in. Why did I just write this? Okay, so my length is just 3 times the square root of 30. Questions here. Okay. Then take a few minutes and work on the 3